Priorities. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, drinking one of those medicinal drinks, the zinc and the vitamin C and all the good little nutrients in there to help us stave off colds and flus. I got sick last Christmas. I was super sick last Christmas. So I want to make sure I don't have a repeat of that incident. So every day I'm drinking at least one of those. And I thought, oh, I'm going to do it first thing in the morning today. See if it helps my voice. So priorities. What the heck do I mean when I talk about priorities? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. By the way, what's up to now? Day 1041. 1041 days documenting my journey as I've transitioned and as I'm transitioning and really transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. What's working, what isn't working, what I'm doing, what I'm planning on and putting together, what kind of projects I'm doing moving forward. So today on the Get Up and Go Challenge, the month of December, we're doing the 5th and final Get Up and Go Challenge for 2020. And in it, we work through a process and a framework, and we do it several times to make sure that it gets ingrained in people's subconscious so that it becomes automatic for them. It's a process that guarantees that you'll always get better results after a change or challenge than before you experience that change or challenge. It's a way that it automatically, since you're creating it and installing it in your subconscious, it automatically customizes and sets itself up to work for the individual, which is pretty cool. So that's how a lot of stuff works, by the way. We learn a tool, we hear about it, we practice it, we use it, we tweak it, we change it, we make it our own, and all of a sudden it becomes a part of us and a way of operating. Same thing with the SOAP framework. So today we were talking about priorities and how important it is to prioritize the things that come our way. If we don't have priorities, if we don't have ways of deciding what is most important for us, whatever comes our way we'll just automatically react to. Not the most efficient or effective use of our time, energy, and life. So the 7 key areas of our life, I learned these from Tony Robbins back in the late 80s. I'm sure he learned them from Jim Rohn. I'm sure I've read them from many, many people. But I like the simplicity of the seven things I can remember. So 7 categories are easy, like 7 days of the week. But they're physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And so if those are the 7 key categories or areas of our life, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you need to have a balanced life. Well, what is a balanced life? It's different for each and every one of us, right? Balance to one person would be total chaos to another. My life is not balanced by anyone else's definition, but it's pretty balanced for me. It's balanced in the way that works for me. So maybe sometimes I spend a lot of time on my physical well-being and emotional well-being and spiritual well-being. And other times I have to spend a lot of time on my financial well-being or on my relationships. It depends. It's so different for each and every one of us. It's like thinking that one size fits all. How many things have you ever gotten that were one size fits all that actually fit you like a glove? Not some gloves. Gloves aren't even one size fits all, right? There's small, medium, large, extra small, extra large, extra large. There is truly no one size fits all, especially when it comes to growth, success, personal development, etc. So prioritization, how do we prioritize? I prioritize 1 through 7. What's the most important thing to me right now? Well, it depends what it is and what's going on in my life. If I'm sick, for example, my health is going to all of a sudden fly up to number 1. It's going to be my highest priority, right? If I have a heartbreak or an emotional trauma in my life, guess what? Emotional things are going to pop up to number 1. If I'm trying to learn a new skill or study something, maybe mental pops up to number 1. So it's one of those things, it's like a snapshot. It changes over time, but it doesn't mean we don't want to pay attention to it. And sometimes on a regular basis, we want to pop in and pay attention to it. I've actually done this 5 or 6 times this year alone. Normally I don't do it 5 or 6 times during a year, only when there's big changes or big things going on. Once a year for sure, absolutely minimal. Once a year, I sit down and I prioritize these key areas of my life. I do it every New Year's Day usually, or sometimes I do it a little early depending on what I've going on. If I'm traveling over the holidays, then I'll do it earlier or later, depending on what I choose, what works for me, what fits in my schedule. But I always spend time, and I actually use this as a foundation in the framework for my personal goal setting. My personal planning and goal setting all comes off of a framework of these 7 key areas of my life, the 7 key areas of my life. And then I break it down. What are my big goals, not only for this year, because that's just a breakdown of what are my big lifetime goals with respect to this area. What do I ideally want my life to look like in this area? And then I break that down. And every year I do the yearly. And then from the yearly, I break that down to monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily. And I break that down because guess what? How we achieve things, how we really achieve the things that we want is by breaking them down into little day-by-day bite-sized pieces, things that we can do every day that build and automatically help us create the things that we want longer term. So it's important to prioritize these. Now, I haven't done it yet for this particular challenge. Last month's challenge, let me grab my book from, not last month, it was October. I did this in October. Let's see what I prioritized in October. October, physical was 1, relationships was 2, financial was 3, mental 4, emotional 5, spiritual 6, and 7 was contribution. That's the order that I ranked them in October. Will they be the same? I don't know. I'm feeling differently this month, so they might not be the same exact rank order. So we'll see. I'll do them tonight as part of the Get Up and Go Challenge homework, just like everybody else. I do it, I say it, I give an assignment, I give action steps, and then I actually grab my book. That was October's book. This is December's beautiful book. And then I do it. I get in the book and I go ahead and I do the homework as well. I think it's important because then I realize if something's a little off or it needs to be tweaked, or today was really good. I think that I'm getting that as I go through, it's better and easier and quicker to get down to under 10 minutes, which is my personal goal and objective. I think day 2 was 10:47 or something, which was a little too long. It means I've got too many stories or rambling, which tends to happen periodically. So that was a Get Up and Go Challenge day, all about priorities. Do you know your priorities at any given time? If somebody comes to you with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and it sounds awesome, but it doesn't fit in with your primary priorities right now, what do you say? No. You say no. And sometimes we think, oh my God, I said no to this great once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But guess what? We're always surrounded by once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. And when we're ready and when it's the right time for us, that's when we'll say yes. Never be afraid to say no when the timing or something is off or doesn't feel right to you. So that was Get Up and Go Challenge today. Fun challenge today was about lending a hand, helping people out in any way you can. And they said, teach somebody younger than you, a child or somebody, to lend a hand, help them out with something. Well, we do that all the time. And got a new granddaughter on the way, so I think I'll get a lot more practice with that. So that was a fun challenge today. Day, I think, 331. I'm guessing it's about day 331. I'm not sure if we'll align right with the end of the year on this one or not. Usually, I think the first one went over of like even more than a month. The second time I did it, I started right on the first and went through the, to the end of the year. This one I did not start on the first because I don't remember why I didn't. I don't remember why, but for some reason this year I did not start on the first. I started a few days into the year. I have to look. I guess I could look and see when I started this one. See if I got a date on the page. I didn't start this one till the 8th, January 8th. I have no idea why I didn't start till January 8th, but we didn't start till January 8th. That means we will probably go into next year. I do the whole book, so we'll probably go into next year for this. I use a little guideline book, do one fun thing every day. This year's book, last year it was do one thing every day that makes you happy, and prior to that was do one thing every day that scares you. And guess what? I already have another one for 2021, because I suspect 2021 is going to be an interesting year. It might not be as interesting and chaotic and incredible as 2020, but I suspect that we're in for some more bumpy rides coming up here, at least here in America, which means if we're having bumpy rides in America, pretty much the whole world's having bumpy rides, right? It's the whole butterfly effect where one thing gets messed up, everything tends to be impacted and messed up as well, or ripples through. So fun challenge. Our idiom today was getting a taste of your own medicine. And it was kind of appropriate that I was actually drinking this medicine. One more sip today. Oof, that's got some weird aftertaste. I think I might have put a little bit too much lemon in it. It's actually kind of yucky, so I squeezed lemon juice into it. So getting a taste of your own medicine, great idiom, right? How many of us have never ever done something to somebody and then had it done to us, maybe by somebody else? Probably not by the same person, but then it's been done to us by somebody else. Have you ever had a boss who was always on your case and always giving you negative feedback and always criticizing you? Then one time you hear them get criticized and you always just take it, but then you hear them get criticized and they absolutely positively can't take it. It's like somebody that can't take a joke, or somebody that can't take a compliment even, or a gift. They're great gift givers and complimenters, but they are not so good at receiving. What we put out in the world is what we get back in the world. It's a natural law, I think, of the universe. What we give out is what we receive back in terms of anything, emotions, financial support, energy, anything. What we put out comes back to us. It doesn't necessarily come back to us through the person we gave it out to, but it does come back to us. And I believe the Bible says it comes back tenfold. So I say, if you're putting out bad stuff, you better brace yourself, because some of that's going to come back to you. And if it comes back tenfold, ouch. But it works the same way with good things. So put out kindness, put out love, put out generosity, give your wisdom, share with people, give out solutions, help other people, treat people the way you want to be treated, and you'll get all that positive energy and good things coming back into your life too. Is it going to happen today? I don't know. Depends what you've been putting in the bank account for deposits of good things in the past. But I think it's a great idiom, because it reminds us that we need to treat other people the way we want to be treated all the time. I think there's another saying that says, how you treat anyone is how you treat everyone. And it's a huge warning sign for us. So often people show us exactly who they are and what they believe about themselves and what they stand for in their actions, their behaviors, their comments, their language, the way they treat other people. And we have blinders on or filters on that we don't want to see what's really going on, or we're being manipulated and misled by false information. And we don't see what's really in front of us. So we have to remember every once in a while to wash off our windshield wipers of our eyes and really look at things. Sometimes we need to just step back and look at things from a broader perspective, a big picture standpoint, and we can see a lot more of what's actually going on than what we're being led to believe is going on. That's it. That's all I've got today. Working on putting together the Challenge Summit, and I better work on that some more today, because I've been a little lax on that as part of this new December challenge. And that's my underlying personal objective and goal, is to get that all frameworked out and done. And I want to do a little bit more formal things this time with that than using, my great visual aids that I've used for 9 months now. Heck, my daughter could have had her baby in that amount of time. I could have had, I'm old, but back in the day, I could have had a baby in that amount of time that I've used this same lame little graphic. And does it matter? I don't know. If it matters, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is getting the information out. And could I create fancy graphics and boards and do computer screen background screens? Yeah. Do I want to? No, just want to share. All right. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with another share of what I'm working on as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world. Take care.